As the first full week of Southeast Missouri's football camp winds down, we're going to preview the specialists today at GoSoutheast.com. Standing here with starting punter Jove Asik. Joe, talk about your role as punter on this team and some of the things that you're working on to improve this preseason.
My role is pretty relevant as far as field position. That's obvious. What I've been working on in the off season is actually my sky kicks to get the ball to rotate in a certain way. So that's kind of what I've been working on personally as one of my own goals, and so far I've been successful with that this past summer.
Now, last year you led the OVC in punting, which is a big accomplishment. You also ranked nationally in the FCS in punting, and you touched on field position, and that is so important as a punter. But and you also did a really good job of that last year with pinning opponents inside their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, I believe it was 15 I had inside the 20. And out of 44 punts, which is pretty good stat. And like I said, and I want to improve that stat because it is such an important stat, inside that 20, that I want to get that nice rotation instead of just kind of kicking them normally and letting up on it, which is what I did last season. So I kind of wanted to change that up this year and improve that stat as well.
I mean, the special teams just look great with the return of yourself. You got Drewehlbach back at kicker, right. Gabbard back at long snapper, and then you also, in regards to the returns, you got Spencer Davis back, and Ben Cargbo did some of the returning last year as well. But what's your overall thoughts on the special teams this year?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, we have everyone coming back. Drew, he's a great kicker. He's got a good leg. We have everyone coming back. Like I said, we have a lot of depth as well with our new kicker, Ryan. So we have some more depth there. Returners, we have some new returners as well. So not only do we have the guys coming back, but we have depth, which is also good. So.
One thing that's always fun about special teams is, the specialists can flip a game at any given moment. What would you say is one of the biggest highlights of your career in regards to, maybe really establishing some good field position and putting an opposing team in a bind?
Well, it's always really nice to have like a booming punt, to crush it, 60 yards plus from the line of scrimmage. But personally, it feels great to pin it, because the crowd feels it. The coaches are obviously happy when it's, inside the 5. I believe last year I had one right land on the 2 and it just dropped straight up, so that felt really good. So personally, that makes me feel better when I have it pinned versus I crush it, because the crowd feels it, and it feels like a much more a bigger accomplishment when I do that.
Thanks again for your time, Joe, and best of luck this season.
All right, thank you.
Continuing our coverage at GoSoutheast.com with the Redhawks specialists, we have starting place kicker Drewehlbach. Drew, how would you say you handled the pressure when the game is on the line?
I just tried to think about it. Having a clear mind really helps you go out there to perform the way you can. If you're on the sidelines thinking about the kick that's coming up, it's probably not going to end well. So, you just got to keep a clear mind and just go out there and just do what I know how to do.
You've really had a great career so far here at Southeast, and you're ranked among some of the school's career leaders in several kicking categories. But what would you say is the biggest accomplishment of your career so far?
I don't know about personal accomplishments. I try to do the best I can. Being a part of that 2010 team when we won the OVC was pretty awesome. I wouldn't say I can think of one individual biggest accomplishment. Being a starter and working hard, I feel like that's my ultimate goal, is to be on the field. And so I try to strive to do the best I can all the time.
And you just mentioned the 2010 season. That year, you had your first career attempt was a 53-yard field goal that you made at Murray State. At what point in that season did you feel that year was going to be something special?
I really felt that we were going to be special, I think, after the SIU game. We went into their place, their brand new stadium. It was a wild atmosphere, and we went in there and won that game. I believe they were ranked at the time. And, I feel like the team really came together then, and really everybody caught on to the fact that we could do something big that year, and so we just kept that momentum after that game and just rolled with it.
And then the specialists are just really strong this year back, with all the starters returning in regards to yourself and our, Jove Asik at punter and Brandon Gabbard, long snapper, and set and returns as well. But that's got to make you feel good going into this year, knowing that you've got that type of experience.
Oh, absolutely. It's great because all three of us have been together for, a long time, and we've gotten past the first game jitters a little bit, as far as getting out there for your first time. So that's great, and we know each other, and we work well together. We know what each other we know what we do wrong as opposed to looking at me, looking at Gabbard or Joe, and then the same for me. And so I think that helps a lot.
And now we're going to visit with Southeast Missouri special teams coach Chris Norris. Coach Norris, you have coached 4 of the school's top 10 career kick return leaders here at Southeast. What's been the secret to your success?
I think part of the secret is we try to keep it as simple as possible. Make our reps count. We're not doing anything fancy, and a lot of that is we've had some great athletes back there. A lot of speed, a lot of vision back there, and we really just try to keep things simple. And I think when you cut out all the fancy stuff and make sure that every rep that you get counts, I think that's where you get the dividends.
I mean, you talked about some of the talent that you have at special teams. I mean, you feel really good going into this year with the return of your starting kicker, punter, long snapper. You've got your top return man coming back.
Yeah, I feel real good about it. I mean, we've got Brandon Gabbard. He's when we got him, I think he was ranked either number 1 or number 2 in the country as long snapper. So we're very fortunate to get him. And then moving the ball up 5 yards definitely helps. And Drew put together a real strong summer. We've changed it up a little bit, kicking right down the middle. So we just let him grip it and rip it. And then we got Ryan McCrum, who I saw some things on film with him. He's a freshman coming in, has a real strong legs, got a bright future. And then Joe is just every year he's gotten better. And when you have all the specialists back, our holders are back. We've gotten our return guys back, and I think we've got a solid recruiting class that some of those guys might be able to help you. And then we've got some guys we redshirted last year that I couldn't wait to get my hands on, and now they're freed up for me. So we've got a lot of skill, a lot of speed on special teams.
And then talk a little bit about Spencer Davis. I mean, he's just so fun to watch back there, returning kicks as well as his role at wide receiver. But talk about how special he is to the special team side of things.
No, he's very important to us. He's got very sure hands. He's got that low center of gravity. On the kickoff returns, a lot of times you can't see him when you're coming down. He's got real good vision. He's got that burst. He's got that burst, real nice fast jump cut, and you get north and south right after that. He's a tough guy to find and a tough guy to tackle. Punt return. If we can just buy him a little bit of time, force him. If we can get the first guy, make him miss one, he should be off and running on quite a few of those.
And then you're a week into preseason camp so far. How have things really come together for special teams?
I think they're coming together well. We've taken a little bit more time this year, doing a lot more drill work, making sure the fundamentals are sound. We've got a lot of new guys on special teams at a lot of different positions. And so, we took a step back, went back to basics, and when our system that we run is so simple, you can afford to spend some more time on the fundamentals, on the drill work, and then put it back together once you feel certain of that. And right now we're really trying to identify players, make sure that we got the best 11 at the proper spots on. So that's just something that you don't want to hurry, and so we're taking our time with it. And by the time that first game's rolled around, we'll have a pretty good product put on the field.
And to finish off our special teams coverage today, we're visiting with starting long snapper Brandon Gabbard. Brandon, talk about some of the dynamics of snapping in terms of maybe, some of the, what is the speed that you try to get on your snaps back to the punter, and how important that is, especially on field goals, to get the snap back, get the hold down so that the kick gets off.
Yeah, when we go with punts, the kicker stands at 14 yards and try to get back there under 0.65 seconds, kind of give him time to get the snap and kick it off before the defense could get there to block it, and that's kind of important just to help him relax, give him a little more time to get that punt off. And with field goals, just kind of putting it in the right spot, make it to where the holder doesn't have to really spin the ball, and he could just set it down, kind of keeps him at ease and keeps the kicker at ease with just less movement of the ball, and kind of settles their minds a little bit.
I mean, you've had quite a bit of time to work with Drew and Joe on these sorts of things, but how is that comfort level with these guys?
It's great. I know what Joe wants if he's holding the ball or when he's punting the ball. I know where he wants it and where he wants it placed, and I know with Drew, it's just as long as I get the ball back and they get it set down, he can take it from there.
And then you've started every game of your career here at long snapper. How's that been for you, and how have you seen yourself progress each year?
I mean, it's been fun. I enjoy it. Kind of see myself mature more and kind of work on things through practice. And throughout the years, I've gotten better with just placement of my ball and speed and accuracy and all of that. It's just great to have that experience and be able to come out here as senior and try to keep it up.
And then also once you make that snap, especially on punts, you got to get downfield and try to make a tackle, and you've done that a couple times in your career. What's that like for you to be able to run down and put a hit on somebody?
It's fun. I mean, don't really get to do it much as a long snapper, but when you get that chance, it's always fun to get down there and try to lay someone out.